So here we are on the 23rd of November, and I've had the luxury and privilege of staying in a gorgeous hotel. This is Stamford Hotel in Circular Quay, while John has been facilitating a session with one of his business clients this weekend. I really didn't want to stay at home by myself, and I really like the idea of someone else cooking and cleaning for me, which has been kind of nice. Which might sound a bit ridiculous given that John's been doing most of that care for me anyway, but it's kind of nice to be somewhere on my own. So I want to share my my morning. So we're staying at Circular Quay, which is very close to the ferry terminal here in the city, and I love going to Manly and love being by the beach. So I set myself a little adventure today, which I knew was going to extend me, and I was curious to know how I was going to handle it. So I'm proud of a number of things going on that happened. So when I spoke to John about it this morning and said, while you're working, I think I'm going to catch the ferry to Manly, I started to get quite concerned about my capacity to do it, because I had to get myself to the ferry terminal, get onto the ferry, at the other end get off the ferry, and then decide where I was going to go. So I had, in my usual thinking, created a goal that was probably beyond me. So it wasn't just about catching the ferry and being by the beach, which I could do right at the Manly ferry terminal. It was like, I'm going to walk to the other side of the Corso, and I'm going to walk all the way up to Ferry Bower, and I'm going to have my coffee at Ferry Bower. And as I started thinking about the physical demands of that, I'm like, I don't think I can manage that. So I wasn't going to do it at all. I went, no, I can't manage that. And John said, well, you can probably manage getting yourself to Manly, and then you can just get off at the other end. You can have a coffee on the ferry terminal side. You can even, just wander around there, get back on the next ferry and come back, and you'll be fine. And then he sent me some set and then said, maybe you can walk down the Corso and have your coffee at the end of the Corso and enjoy the beach on that side, and then you'll be fine. And he said, but if you try and walk to Ferry Bower on your own, I will be really upset with you and cranky with you. And I went, oh, I could actually make this achievable. So breaking it down into the achievable steps and then giving myself like a bit of an extension was kind of fun. It turned it into an adventure, and it allowed me to be curious. So I've done that. I went to the Stein side, the Steyne side of Manly Beach, and I sat in a cafe so I could sit on a chair at a good height, not try and get up and down off the ground, and had a coffee and a big drink of water. Made sure I had access to a bathroom that was clean, and enjoyed smelling the sea air and the sun on my skin. And then I had a thought. I went, I could probably walk some of the way to Ferry Bower. I went, no, but I'm not going to, because I still have to get back. So I'm proud that I didn't try and do more than I knew I could handle. I'm proud that I didn't get down onto the sand, because I wanted to do that. I thought, I'm going to get my feet into the water. But walking on soft sand when my abdomen is still so sore would not have been smart. So I didn't do that. The other things I didn't do is I didn't rush to catch ferries. I was just like, there'll be another ferry, I'll just handle it. And I didn't rush to cross pedestrian crossings, and I didn't rush to scoot around pedestrians or get out of the way of pedestrians. Because what I just have discovered is when I rush, I jolt my feet or my legs, and that sends, oh my God, pain into my abdomen and into my chest that makes me tear up. It's so painful. I'm also noticing that I'm dragging my right leg, which is the hip injury that I had 8 years ago. So because my posture and my gait has changed over the past 4 weeks while I'm recovering from surgery, I've got some work to do on restoring my posture and improving my gait, which will happen as my surgical sites recover and improve. But understanding that and not feeling like oh, there's another thing that's going to drag me down, and there's another thing that's going to drag me down has been really helpful. And just going, well, of course my neck's going to be sore because I'm stooping over. My shoulders are hunched to protect my pectoral muscles from the pain that comes with standing up straight and stretching out across my chest. And of course my hips and my knees and my feet are going to be sore because I'm not walking properly because my abdomen doesn't want to stretch out properly. So the way my lower back and my hips are aligned at the moment is odd. But that will improve as my tolerance to activity improves. So the not rushing thing was really important for me today, and then just being mindful of my postural changes and that's okay, that's fixable, was useful for me today as well. So feels like I've got lots of, I feel really proud for number one for doing it, but then also for not doing many of the things that I've talked about here as well. And I am now back in the hotel room. I have taken some pain medication because I know that will enable me to get a couple more hours of function later today. But that's it. I've got about 90 minutes to 2 hours worth of decent function of me in a day. And today's 4 weeks in surgery. So yeah, some days it feels like it's never going to end, and then other days it's like, wow, look at what I did today. That's pretty cool.